WhatCulture followers, subscribers, obsessists, and whatever you want to call yourself. I'm Kenny McIntosh, so unfortunately you're having to put up with me once again. But it's a new show for a Monday. This is what should be known as Monday Night RAWss. That is if Ross can survive 1 hour without a cape and a crown. So I'm joined by my partners in crime. First of all, Ross, King Ross, welcome.
King Ross, yes, King Ross.
Welcome to your new show.
Thank you.
How do you feel about it?
Ecstatic.
You're really showing it off there. And if you can't see this, if you're not watching the video, Ross is sporting a New Day t-shirt.
Because I am a New Day mark, I think they're called in the trade.
So which New Day member would you be if you were...
Big E, without a shadow of a doubt. I got that rhythm.
Would you wear the same double strap singlet?
Why not? Let's try and pull it off.
When in Rome. And I'm also joined by Jack, who is also known as Jack the Jobber, which I mean, you gave yourself that name, right? That's not like... I mean, Adam's given you a lot of names, but not Jack the Jobber.
It was kind of a preemptive name. I didn't realise it was going to...
No.
That's... Yeah. And now, look what's happened.
You're top of the world?
Well, beneath King Ross, I suppose. Well, he's got his own show and everything.
So you look Queen Jack? Anyway, okay. So... So we're going to be with you every single Monday, and we're going to be talking about stuff from the weekend. We're going to be talking about Monday Night Raw, and we're also going to have a trivia game between you two titans of knowledge. Titans of wrestling knowledge.
I know nothing about wrestling.
And I know a tiny bit about wrestling, so it's going to be...
This is going to be great.
Fantastic.
This is going to be almost as crap as Raw. So before, I guess to kick it off, let's do a segment called Something from the Weekends, where we're all going to bring something up to talk about from the weekend that we think is relevant or could take us into Monday Night Raw. So why don't we start off with King Ross? We can't start off with us minions.
Correct.
What would you like to bring up from the weekend?
Injuries. We're back again with injuries. Charlotte took a rogue knee to the nose. And then Emma got her head kicked off by Asuka.
Happy days. And then was there not another one that was Tommaso Ciampa? He got injured as well from the Revival.
It was a tag match, wasn't it?
Yeah, Revival against Gargano and Ciampa. What do we think of the nickname Revival before we get into injuries? Is that not the worst tag team name? They were called the Mechanics, now they're called the Revival. They sound like a bad band on X Factor.
It's like they suffered a dip, and now they're back.
Well, they're old school, it works. They're a throwback. I like it.
I like the Mechanics, because like they're nuts and bolts. They take their opponents apart. What are you laughing at?
No, it's true. You're absolutely... They are nuts and bolts. Yeah. It's just you said it very well.
Nuts and bolts.
So injuries. What happened to Charlotte? Like, what? I didn't read
Becky Lynch's knee went straight into her nose and smashed it.
Is she okay?
She apparently wrestled the next night, I'm told, on
what a
Sunday.
tripper.
Yeah, so...
She's hardcore.
She did well.
She is hardcore. So in terms of Asuka, like people, because I have seen a lot of people talking about, you know, Asuka kicking Emma in the head, and there's some people saying, Asuka's too stiff, she needs to start doing more fake wrestling.
You sound like Susie there.
I'm not getting into that.
Racism,
what do you guys think? Is it good that Asuka's bringing in a sort of firmer style, or would it be better for her to sort of be more Rosa Mendez-esque?
Absolutely not Rosa Mendez-esque. She's bringing the game on for the ladies. She's bringing it up with the men. So, what's that laughing?
No, I'm just... Because the thing about Rosa Mendez that's tremendous is that if you...
Tremendous.
People who watch Total Divas...
I'm so sorry.
What's wrong with
Tremendous?
Oh, good.
Oh.
Get out, man. Just get out.
On Total Divas this past week, Rosa Mendez is 5 months pregnant and she wants to impress her boyfriend's parents, so she decides to baby-proof the apartment.
By doing...
Like, baby-proof it. The kid's like 4 months away. And she thinks this is a great idea.
Notice you brought up Total Divas again.
So it's for her benefit, then?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, you've watched Total Divas, right?
No, not really.
Okay, so you can't judge it.
Well, I saw one episode, right? I don't want to go on too much of a tangent.
Okay.
It was just when Jimmy Uso and Naomi had like a falling out or whatever, a bit of marital strife. Then she hit a shoot Hurricane Rana on him. You can't hit a shoot Hurricane Rana. Like, you can't do that. He did a forward roll, then he got up and he was like, what the hell?
He does have to say... Well, the weirdest thing that they did in Total Divas was Jimmy Uso, or Jay, whatever one it is, they look the same. The Uso... Well, they do, they're twins.
Oh, yeah.
They are
Why is that bad to say?
They are identical twins.
I mean, if they were like 4 years apart and just the same... Anyway. But the thing... So Jimmy Uso was going to do stand-up comedy, which, you know, calm down. Get good at promos first. So he was going to do stand-up comedy, and Naomi and his dad were in the house, and they were like, we've got an idea. Go out the room and come back, and we'll make you feel more comfortable. And then Jimmy's dad was like, let's get naked, and that'll make him feel more comfortable. So
what, to Naomi? To his sons?
So Naomi's sitting in her bra and pants, and the dad's sitting there in his, you know, Y-fronts. And Jimmy comes back in just like, what's going on?
Yeah.
As you do.
Incest.
And then he did the stand-up routine, and it was dreadful. So we'll move on from incest. So,
Injuries, mate.
Injuries, yeah. Any? Do you have any feelings? We've talked about it.
Well, Big Show might have done something to his knee, I think, as well.
Do we care?
Nah.
And that's not a surprise the way he's flying around the ring at the minute.
He is.
He is taking my breath away as the
Here's
Big
the thing,
Show.
though. I don't want to see the Big Show on the top rope doing a drop kick.
I do. It's hilarious.
But that's not a good thing, though.
Yeah, but it's hilarious.
No, but the Big Show's supposed to be this monster that, like, you use him to put somebody over.
He's not, man. He's a nice guy now. He's shaking all the kids' hands. He's doing all this. Let him do flips and stuff.
Do you mean until like he loses his next like business investment and he needs to go and cry to Stephanie again?
Maybe.
You mentioned this. When did he turn face? On the last podcast?
We still don't
yeah,
know.
we don't know.
We still don't know.
It was like 3 weeks ago, and Roy just turned up and started going, "Hey!" and then shaking all the kids' hands for no reason.
Does he do that after like his winter break every year? He just turns up again. It's WrestleMania
The
season.
weather gets a bit warmer, and then he's back being a face again.
Okay, so injuries. I got a chance to watch UFC 196 yesterday, and I avoided spoilers, which is a sign that you really want to see something if you avoid spoilers. Misha Tate and Holly Holm and Conor McGregor and Nate Diaz. I always say Nick, but Nate Diaz.
Yeah.
And it was like two massive upset victories. Like Holly Holm lost the title, Conor McGregor lost his confidence. You got a chance to see Conor and Diaz. What did you think? Like, because I got the sense that even though in the first round he was like all about it, like he was definitely on top.
Yeah.
And then I just got this sudden thing where I was like, I think he's gonna lose this. Like,
It's like he realised he bit
confidence
off more than he could chew.
yeah.
Like the dramatic jump up in weight was a bit too much for him. So he,
What weight is Nate?
Like 170?
No, like which weight class?
175?
Which weight class?
I don't know what that. 175.
It's like
McGregor's
it's
normally
I
like-
think he's
Is he welter?
Yeah, I think it's like one weight class.
Connor's like naturally a lightweight or a flyweight.
Featherweight.
I don't feel like I'm knowledgeable enough to have.
Neither. I'm
this
as
back and
casual a
forth.
fan as they come, and I watch Conor McGregor because I think he's a cool guy.
Oh, I was glad that he lost. He needed to be taken down a few pegs. No,
See
man.
that's the two reactions. Some people think he should be taking down a few pegs. Some people think
I
he's
think
great.
I think he's brilliant.
Yes. Holly Holm, any feelings on her loss?
Terrifying lady. All right. Well,
Terrifying lady.
Misha kind of. I mean, now you've got to assume that just Ronda Rousey's going to come back and.
beat Misha Tate.
Yeah.
She's beat her twice.
I think Dana's like, yes, he's got his cash cow back, and Ronda can now win the title, and then it's happy days again for Dana.
Like Dana. Do you know Dana White was challenged by Vince McMahon
Yeah.
for WrestleMania 27?
Yes, I did. I found this out last week. I think it was something.
Vince is like 70, Dana's like 50. He would kick.
I don't know. I still think Vince would just be like, I will bring your daughter into my company and I will pretend to be her father.
Yeah,
he would
but-
do something.
He's the guy from
But
Raven.
Raw could. Vince couldn't even open those balls on Raw for the Royal Rumble draw. Remember that? He couldn't. He's
He
got
couldn't
these
do it.
massive arms, and they're all purely for show and tell.
Have
He
you
couldn't
noticed-
open them balls.
Have you
Show and
noticed
tell.
they've updated his Titantron now. So now it's like new Vince pictures. It's like him when he came out as a referee and just kept like showing his bicep the whole time.
Man,
He's so creepy.
it's disgusting.
Do you remember? Did you hear what he did at a salon in Boca Raton? We won't
Say
talk
that in
about
English?
He was at a salon in Boca Raton, Florida,
Yes.
and he was accused of doing something to a lady that you're not supposed to do to a lady.
Any more details on it? Or
Well, he wasn't convicted, so he's still around.
more power to him?
Anyway,
How does that link to WWE though?
so I was going to say about UFC. The thing that struck me when I was watching it was that the main two matches, the Holly Holm Misha Tate and the Conor McGregor Diaz, is they were all stars. They were big names, and it all hinged on the moves. And if you made a mistake, that something could happen. So my question to you guys, who watch WWE all the time, is: would a presentation like that be better in WWE? So, for example, if Roman Reigns was in a match with Brock Lesnar, would it be better if like Roman Reigns won by capitalizing on a move and that's how he beats Brock Lesnar, and they do promos before the match that aren't scripted and they're just feeding off of each other?
So making them more real is what.
Yeah,
You're,
just for the main events. I mean, you don't have to do it with the New Day
Yeah, you could-
or
there's a-
R-Truth, but
there's room for comedy,
well, we know.
but then
you-
there's
we know.
also room for your serious main events. So
Shocks me that you'd be a fan of comedy.
I like Big E.
You do. I'd love to see you meet Biggie if we can make that happen.
I think
Would
I'd
you be
faint.
able to
I'd
talk?
honestly faint. Just quiver at the knees and drop.
Well,
That sounded a bit weird.
we'll
so,
go away from
yeah.
that. What do you think? A more serious presentation in the main events, kind of like UFC, would that work? Would it not? Would it make you more interested?
I think it's horses for courses. I think it works with Lesnar. Horses for courses
What?
means like different scenarios for different situations.
Okay.
Horses for courses. Have
Do
we
you
not
say
seen
it?
it with
You
horses
couldn't.
for
You
courses?
couldn't do it with everyone. Is what he's trying to say.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Is it a cricket term?
I thought it was just a term for life,
A term for life.
and where
You
you
see
apply
Sam
it.
behind
yeah.
the camera, just like, what are they doing?
This has escalated.
I think it works with Lesnar. I don't think it works with Reigns because you can tell he's fake. Like, you can just tell he's fake.
But would it work with someone, as an example, say Sheamus, right? take away the stupid thing with his beard and all that. If he was to face Lesnar in a pay-per-view match and Lesnar, I don't know, goes to do a dive and he messes up somehow and Sheamus takes advantage and he manages to win and he wins through sort of calculated assault, is that something that would make wrestlers more interesting, or do we not care and it's more about promos?
Not for the casual fan, I don't think it would work. I think it would work for us, but I don't think your casual fan would take much to it.
See, I feel like if they did do that, more casual fans would watch. Because if you watch Raw right now, it is, as a 3-hour television show, unbearable.
Yeah.
You know? And like part of that is that Roman Reigns, when he was the champion, like, or even when he was challenging last year, he was doing sucker and succotash and all this sort of stuff. I mean, is anybody going to buy a pay-per-view for that kind of stuff?
Kids. That's it.
Kids.
I think kids.
So you guys would buy it, is what you're saying?
No. Oh, you've called Ross is getting in on the young gimmick now as well.
Pigeonhole me in the same category as that guy there.
So was there a rivalry?
I am
don't
above
know
and
it.
beyond that, man.
Okay.
Just a quick, sorry about this. Ross actually overtook me on Twitter followers last week and messaged me on Facebook to let me know.
Got a boom.
You got a bit, so how many have you got now?
I've got like 4,100 odd.
Wow, and
So
you?
I'm just below 4,000.
And how important is that to you in your day?
It's so incredibly important.
So like
for
if
me.
you were to
Like, it's so
if you were to
important.
gain like a real illness and it'd be like it's okay, I've got 4,000 Twitter followers. Is that like how important this is
Well,
to you?
4,000 isn't the milestone that I set out at the start.
What is your milestone?
Oh, I've passed it long ago. I wanted to.
What was your milestone? 100?
No, just to pass Ross, but he's overtaken me again. So I don't know.
Wow, I'm really trying to care. But, it's just I can't. So UFC, WWE, we don't think the transition would work.
Not wholly.
it wouldn't play.
Horses for courses.
Yeah.
You stop saying that.
Google it now.
I'm not going to Google it.
Why?
Because I don't know how to spell it.
Horses.
Horse, like a horse. Like a.
Horse. Yeah. Like
Don't make fun of my accent.
horse.
That's
Horses.
cruel.
Four.
You could bring that into poor Susie. She's had enough of the accent bashing
man, I know.
from you people. That's the audience. You can wave to them. Say hi.
You all right, lads?
Anyway, there's camera. So, anything you want to bring up from the weekend?
Yeah.
The thing is, before we did this,
right, mate.
I'd said, anything you want to bring up for the weekend? And Jack's like, yeah, I've got a great transition piece from when you talk about UFC. So I've given him like 4 leads here to transition.
Have
into.
you? Oh, sorry, I've just not been picking up on them
Okay,
at all.
so we'll do it now. So, UFC, WWE, we think it would partly work.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't even remember what it was.
It was Shane McMahon, Jack. He wanted to.
Yeah, it was right. Shane, right?
Right?
Sorry for swearing, but you know, frustrating times.
Shane's been he's been active on the. It's not just from this weekend. It's the past couple of weeks, past week or two.
Right.
He's been uploading videos on Twitter of him
With his Mai Tai.
hit a bit of a capoeira kick or whatever it's called, capoeira. You know the Brazilian one where they
Yeah, that's good.
have a dance. And he's been like hitting some knees, and he's been
Getting absolutely assaulted by 3 children.
yeah, he lost.
He's got no chance against Undertaker. He can't bat 3 kids in.
Well, but,
That's the
but
thing.
shouldn't you know? I mean, he's basically preparing himself for the world of WWE, because in WWE you can beat legends, you can beat giants, but if any McMahons come at you, you lay down immediately. So he's pretty much got the right course of action, I think.
What I was going to say was these videos, right? They're kind of leading us to believe that Shane's got like a realistic chance against the Undertaker, which no one's going to buy. Like no one's going to buy that. So I think on Raw tonight, could he be, or in the next few Raws, could he be bringing like a surprise out the bag? Could he be saying it's not actually me in the match, or it's a handicap, or there's a stipulation, or something like that?
I feel like they've gone too far into it now to have a substitute. I feel like it would be like now the people who don't like the Shane Undertaker match are kind of accepting it now, and the people who love it, like me, are
I'm buzzing for
like,
it.
you know, they're just like, it has to be these two because it's going to be bonkers, and because you can't quite imagine how that match is going to work. Like, you can't quite imagine Shane McMahon and The Undertaker in a cell.
He's just gonna have to run, isn't he? Run, pick up a chair. Which I was watching that match with the Big Show. Which way did he go? Which way did he go? That's what we're gonna be. We're gonna get that back.
I think like Taker will dominate for the first, like there'll be blood and everything, and then something will happen, but I just don't know what, to swing it back in Shane's favour.
I feel like it's got to be
The Boulay Club.
Run-in Mania.
Ooh.
I think we're going to get a Mean Street Posse run-in. That's got to happen.
Steve Blackman.
Why do you have to just ruin everything?
Are you joking?
Steve
Do you not
Blackman.
like Steve Blackman?
Do you remember his theme music with the
The,
nunchucks?
the anthem, trans anthem. Imagine if that came on at WrestleMania. There's
Trans anthem.
100,000 people just.
Everyone's losing their minds.
There's no trance in that, and it's not an
At
anthem.
the start.
That now, what you're doing there is a more excitable version of what that theme tune is.
What's your beef with Steve?
Do you really want me to get into this?
Briefly.
Okay, he looks like a serial killer. Well, not as much as Dan Severn does, but remember Dan Severn?
Yeah.
He looked like he was about to come out and just... Anyway, so the thing with Steve Blackman is he had rubbish music, he couldn't talk. The only time that he was good was when he did Head Cheese.
You know, there's little sticks. No, no.
And the sticks.
Little sticks.
That was so dull, he just came out and just, I've got sticks.
Impressed? No.
What's that?
When the lights went off and it went all like glow in the dark, it was
no.
blew my 7-year-old mind.
No,
so
I
it
think
did.
you'll remember it
Wait a minute.
differently because I don't remember the lights going off.
Steve Blackman.
When Steve Blackman, he didn't have the trance music. It was before this. That he would get in the ring with these sticks, and the lights would go down, and it would be glow in the dark, and he'd do that.
It's definitely not a trans anthem.
It's no, it is a trance anthem.
It's not a trans anthem. It's a trance anthem.
We all have accents, right? Sometimes my accent might not sound the same as yours, Ross, but I don't pick holes in yours
Sorry.
just because the people don't think that it's a trans anthem.
Well done.
Don't patronise me. Okay, so we're going to move on and talk about Monday Night Raw. We're going to preview the show tonight. Tonight is in Chicago, Illinois. Cue the CM Punk chants.
CM Punk.
CM Punk. So let's talk about some of the stuff. You mentioned Shane McMahon. He's going to be on the show. Undertaker is not. Now, I don't want to like beat a dead horse here, but The Undertaker last week was possibly the most disappointing appearance he's done in years. It was so crap that
It just didn't make sense.
I don't think they can do any worse this week.
Didn't make any sense.
No, he didn't do anything. So I guess the question tonight is, well, first of all, just quickly, are you happy with how this feud is going, Ross? And what do you want to see Shane do tonight?
Well, no, it needs one question answered, and that's why is Taker fighting for Vince? Like that just needs explained. That should have been explained last week.
Yeah.
It's just Taker saying to Vince that the blood of your son will be on your hands. Well, we already knew that. Vince booked the match. He knew that. He wants it.
That, yeah.
And Vince saying that Shane would fail him as a son if he lost. He wants that. Otherwise, Shane will have Raw. Why? Oh.
Well, see, I've got a few friends who watch wrestling who haven't watched in the Attitude Era or anything like that. So they've only watched in the last couple of years. And they hate The Undertaker. Because think about it, if you don't have a connection to this guy, all you see is this old man that keeps coming down with a really long entrance, never cuts promos, never backs up a story, and but you're supposed to love him. And I think that the more he does stuff like last week, where he doesn't really back anything up, he doesn't really advance a story, it's going to be really tough for people like us to defend him because he's not doing anything. So, and the problem is that the guy behind The Undertaker, Mark Calloway, is an immensely talented guy who can cut promos, who can do stories, and I don't know, like, does he just not care anymore? Is he just now like, okay, I'll just come and do a match, I don't really care about the build? Or...
It seems that way.
I had a Twitter discussion with former WWE referee Jimmy Corderas about this. I know.
Name dropping. No.
Oh, I dropped that name. So I was talking to him, and he'd said that he put a tweet out about, people complain that wrestlers cut too many promos, and now they're complaining that Undertaker only talked for 10 seconds. And I was like, well, that's not really the complaint. The complaint is that he didn't answer the question that everyone wanted him to answer. And then he came back to me and said, I think that Undertaker is just an independent guy who, he's not picked a side and he just wants to remind Vince what he's getting his son into. And for me, it's like, I shouldn't need an ex-referee on Twitter to explain to me what the story is. I should get it from the 3-hour television show that I have to watch every Monday night. And we watch it at 1 a.m. This is torture. Some weeks, I'd rather be in Saw the movie and just have them do it for real. Because at least that would be over in like 10 minutes. I could go to the hospital, get it stitched back on, the leg or whatever it was. And then, see, now you took that to a bad place, Jack.
Such a filthy mind for such a young man.
23 years old.
You're not 23.
23.
Do you have ID on you right now?
I do.
Right, okay. 23 years old. So, Shane McMahon tonight, what do you want him to do, Jack? In an ideal, what does it need tonight?
Just something that helps to clarify the story a bit more. But you need The Undertaker for that, really. I don't know what Shane can really do by himself tonight.
Yeah.
He's going to, like, you walked in today. I said, what's Shane, or was it you or not?
I don't know.
Someone today, I said, what's Shane going to do on Raw tonight? And the response from whoever it was, I can't remember, just probably dance. And that summed it up, really.
Yeah, that's probably what he's going to
He
do.
will
They should bring back the CCTV footage like from back in the day. What was it called?
GTV.
GTV.
And Goldust is still around, so he could...
And
he
then
could be
Vince and Taker having a discussion, and Shane somehow got the tape. That's how you could do it with
How
Taker.
do we,
I don't know.
how do we feel about now, in addition to the control of Monday Night Raw, Shane's inheritance is on the line? I mean, to me, that feels a bit too... Like, it's another layer that we don't really need.
Yeah.
It's almost like they're throwing this together at short notice, isn't it?
You mean like they didn't have this planned like 6 months ago? I mean, I want to give them the benefit of the doubt because it was going to be Undertaker Cena. Cena got injured. But come on, I mean, the three of us could sit for 10 minutes and come up with a better storyline.
Ooh, I mean, Steve Blackman would be playing a crucial part, wouldn't he, in proceedings?
Okay, well, clearly you proved me wrong there. So, and in terms of you with Shane, what can he do this week to sort of fix the errors of last week?
It's a hard question. Isn't it?
I don't think he can without Taker being there.
Yeah.
Undertaker needs to be there. He needs to tell her why he's doing what he's doing.
So this is kind of like a sleeper week, essentially. Like
It'll be another filler week on the road to WrestleMania.
I saw a post on Reddit that summed it up. It was just a picture of, it was just Undertaker and Vince in the ring. And it just had captions. It was just Vince says, have a match with Shane. And Undertaker says, okay. Now that's all, that really sums it up.
That's where we're at the minute.
My favourite caption from last week during Raw, somebody tweeted out a clip from The Simpsons where Grandpa Simpson walks in the door, puts his hat up, puts the hat back on, and leaves again. And that's kind of what Undertaker did. So, but Undertaker is on the show next week, March 14th, and I think it's Pittsburgh. So maybe he can say 11 words and earn some more money. But something that might develop on Raw tonight I thought was worth bringing up, because Dave Meltzer mentioned it on his Wrestling Observer Radio yesterday, is that Kalisto, who Jack absolutely remembers as the United States Heavyweight Champion.
I do, yeah.
Is apparently going to have a WrestleMania feud with the big guy, aka Goldberg 2.0, Ryback.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah, I don't care.
Great. So we've covered that. We've covered that thrilling United States title feud.
It should have been, I thought it was going to be Sin Cara.
Really?
They should have the Lucha Dragons split up and fight.
Sin Cara
should have come back as a jealous heel.
Should we refer to what you just said there of who cares? Like,
no.
Wait, this isn't even the good Sin Cara. This is like, Sin Cara now is like if you walked into Poundland and you were like, oh, I need to get my wee boy a Rey Mysterio figure, and they don't have one, but there's a Poundland knockoff, I'll just get that.
Well, is that Sin Cara or Kalisto?
Either, to be honest.
No, Kalisto's a fantastic worker.
Sin Cara dislocated his shoulder on Raw
here we go.
Wrestled
Here's the thing.
Sin Cara, I don't like Sin Cara. He blocked me on Twitter, but
everybody blocks you.
just him and Shawn Michaels.
Why did Shawn Michaels block you?
I've got absolutely no idea.
Jerry the King Lawler blocked me because I am a king and he is threatened.
Oh, that's such bad patter. Okay, like it's so bad. You brought something up, so we're gonna put you on the spot.
Go on.
My argument with Kalisto is I don't know anything about him to get me interested in him as a character. So tell me 3 things about the Kalisto character, not his in-ring work. Tell me 3 things about the Kalisto character of why I should care about him.
He's plucky, right? He's very plucky. He's plucky.
Like a chicken.
No, man. Do you know any words? He's horses for courses.
My banter was bad.
Plucky,
Jesus.
right? He's brave and small.
Why can't you say brave and small?
Because that's plucky sums it up in one word.
Okay, he's plucky.
He's plucky. He's a plucky individual,
Horses
like as demonstrated in the title tournament when he beat Ryback. Do you remember that?
Vaguely, yep.
Yeah, loads of pluck pluck for days.
Right. Okay. So number 2.
He's proud of his heritage. He's a proud Mexican.
Okay, he's Mexican.
He's a proud Mexican.
He was born in Mexico.
He's a proud Mexican. He mentioned it, I think, once.
Okay. And number 3.
No, only had 2. Only had 2 there. You've proved, yeah, well done.
Okay, so the something else to talk about Raw this week is that, you know, as much as Shane's appearing and Kalisto and Ryback are going to be at odds as the crowd is at a fever pitch, this is mainly going to be a show building to this Saturday's Roadblock. Which now I have an issue with this, right? I grew up in the 90s when you had like the March to WrestleMania shows on Sky Movies Gold and stuff like that, and they had March to WrestleMania, which was fine. All looking forward to it. Now they have Roadblock, which has then quite rightly developed the meme, which is Fastlane, Roadblock, and then WrestleMania renamed wrong way. Roadblock, we've got Brock Lesnar, Bray Wyatt, which is being given away, and Dean Ambrose challenging Triple H. So King Ross, you go first. What do you think about the build to Roadblock? Can they do anything tonight with Brock Lesnar and Bray Wyatt to get you excited about that match on Saturday?
Well, I mean, just those two being involved excites me a lot because of the hard-hitting styles and whatnot. So, yeah.
It's a very fair point. I'm not sure what you roll your eyes.
I mean, you don't need it's a glorified house show, innit? You don't really need a story if it's not going to build anything at WrestleMania. But then it might. Who knows?
Well, it won't because he's fighting Canelo. But I appreciate the
Subject to change, the card as always, remember?
Yeah, well, this year's proved that.
I've heard a wild theory, right? And it's
Cannot wait
He's
for
been
this.
on Reddit again and he's seen
no,
something.
man. Like it's not. It's. I think I've said it to you as well. It's not too ridiculous. It's just the fact
Well,
that
we're gonna get into that.
they've already printed all the posters and all the merch and everything for WrestleMania, which is all Triple H, Roman Reigns. Dean somehow, right, wins the belt at Roadblock. But it's not going to happen, is it? But Dean wins the belt at Roadblock, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're not listening.
I'm just
Dean
checking
wins-
Twitter to see if there's updated stuff we can talk about.
Dean wins
I'm listening.
Dean wins the belt at Roadblock, right?
Right.
Triple H has a rematch. So he gets in the main event of Mania. And then Lesnar
Goes back with Wyatt.
also somehow has a main... No, I wanted to fail
Well,
forward.
no, Lesnar's
I wanted
pissed
to
off 'cause he
fail
doesn't get Ambrose, isn't he?
Yeah, so then he gets it. So then he
added.
like... he
ends up.
threatened-
It basically ends up a fatal four-way.
I didn't really... Or like an elimination. I'd like an elimination.
Yeah.
That
So
would be
you
class.
guys, want to take what is already a week WrestleMania card with 3 main events and turn,
What
it,
do you
and
mean?
turn it into 2 main events.
Yeah, but one wouldn't be weak anymore, would it? It'd be good.
But then you'd be missing a main event, right? You'd then have like. I mean that's like. I mean I guess they've got loads of entrances and
There's
stuff.
so
to
many
do.
injuries.
Florida's going to sing about his house.
Sing about that. He does.
I look. Do you remember WrestleMania 28
Oh, have you seen the video for that? Sorry.
for my house?
Yeah.
No.
It's
Is it bad?
It's not very 21st century. They're all eating food. They're having a party at his house. And
Gaff.
a house party or an empty, as I've heard they're called in Scotland.
They are. They call it empty.
An empty, yeah.
Fight's called a square go as well.
I knew that from ICW. And there's like a naked woman, and she's like the buffet table, like there's all food on her, and they're just picking food off. And I was like, is this from like 1999 or what? No, it's 2016.
Disgusting, Ross.
Just celebrating the female body, isn't it?
By eating sushi off of it.
I don't know if it was sushi. Might have been.
Join us next week as we eat sushi off of Ross. So
Oh,
yeah, it's not the same.
dark turn this is taken.
It's not the same. Go back to your point.
Fatal four. Well, there are so many injuries, aren't there?
There are.
There's not enough for 3 good main event matches.
That's the problem.
I don't know what I'd do, but I still would rather.
Would you like Florida to sing about his house though?
I mean,
I could take it or leave it personally.
I'd rather see more NXT talent on the show than Flo Rida.
Such
Such a sensible.
it's a good
yeah,
answer,
yeah.
but it's just it's the answer that you would read on Twitter. But it's not a bad
It's the
thing.
answer I'd write on Twitter, mate.
You probably have written it. Did you saw WrestleMania 28, right? Did
Yeah.
you start watching by then?
Yes, I started watching in 2000.
I didn't know if your mum would let you, but the thing about WrestleMania 28 was, you remember the main event where John Cena had MGK come out and sing his
Machine
mad,
Gun
like,
Kelly, yeah.
yeah, sing his mad like anthem, and it was rubbish. And then The Rock got Flo Rida singing like 2 chart-topping tunes. Like it wasn't really fair on John Cena.
It wasn't fair on us with that music. I want to shoot myself in the face
With Machine Gun Kelly, or
with the machine gun.
yeah.
Might have belonged to Kelly, might not have. I
Well,
wouldn't
listen,
care.
the man can take a power bomb.
No, it's
we know
not.
that.
It's not Kelly's machine gun. It's Machine Gun Kelly.
Yeah, I know.
All right.
This is what we put up with on a daily basis. Well, I don't, because I don't live here, but that sometimes I have to put up with it. KO Mania, Kevin Owens, WrestleMania. What's happening?
He's going to be stuck in a multi-man Intercontinental Championship ladder match. And then we'll move on, which is a shame.
Although, if I can look at it in a positive way, what would you rather? Multi-man match versus Big Show.
The multi-man match.
Multi-man.
So it's the lesser of two evils,
Who do
really.
you think's going to be in?
The Miz apparently is going to be in it.
The Miz, yes, because they hadn't beat Ziggler, which means
Yeah.
he's going to
Do you
be
think
looking
Ziggler-
strong.
Think Ziggler will be in as well?
Probably.
Your mate?
And he'll
Ross
lose again.
hates Ziggler. Like, hates him.
You hate Ziggler.
I love Ziggler. And I
Pointless.
like
Just
Ziggler.
pointless now, isn't he?
I mean, he has lost a lot of
It's
relevance.
it's passed him by. Just
Well,
stop,
wrestling.
stop being so
Oh,
cocky.
he's a
and
great
just-
worker, man.
Yeah, I don't know. He takes a few.
Do
Of
you
the,
think this is as the oldest person of this trio, right? And I started watching wrestling in 1992, so I got the end
Christ, I was born in '92.
tail end of Hulkamania, the British boom period, the new generation, the Attitude Era. I'm sick to the back teeth of the argument, and I'm not saying this about you, and you've said it, but it's just brought up to me. The argument now of people being good is they're such a great worker. Who cares?
Yeah, but I wanna-
unless
I wanna
they're
be-
a character.
I want to be invested in them.
Yeah,
And
like-
Ziggler's just there. He's confused by his own look. He doesn't know what he is. He's stuck in the 80s or something.
He's
these
auditioning
days.
for like a Broadway musical.
Yeah, and he always comes out looking so cocky when he's got no
Rock of
right to
Ages.
be. He just loses every week. It's just. We don't need to see him
His
anymore.
gear gets worse.
Yeah,
as
it's just
time
like, what
goes
is
on.
he? It's just.
And his hair, remember his hair at WrestleMania
I can
last
appreciate he's a good worker and he's seller. He's
buns and
always
stuff.
he's the best seller. I can appreciate all that bollocks, but that's about it.
But he's a good worker, Ross.
Yeah, but he's a good worker, so I've got to like him.
It's like Kalisto. He's a good worker.
Look, this has been quite an onslaught, right? I've just sat there for like a minute.
Just shows
while
I'm
you
not
both
alone.
shouted
I've got
at
the
me.
majority vote here.
All right, okay.
You are
he's
wrong.
Bad then. No, he's bad. Yeah, all right. There
No,
we go.
but in all seriousness, so to you, are you more concerned, genuinely, are you more concerned with somebody being a good worker or a good, like, do you need them to be a good character?
See, it's got to be a mix, hasn't it? It's got to be a mix. I don't like when someone's a great worker, but it's not. The thing is, I don't think Ziggler's a bad talker at all. He's a good talker. It's just, it's not his fault. It's creative, isn't it? It's not his fault.
He creates his own gear though.
He's
And
not
that's
helping
a
himself.
major problem.
He's
with
not
him.
helping himself. So we've got KO Mania, but let's talk about the match that we're all excited about. We're all looking forward to, because I think we can all agree that at Christmas, when we all went to bed on Christmas Eve, we were wishing for Christmas presents. We all hoped that we would get Y2AJ as a thing.
Don't get me started on this.
So AJ Styles, who main evented Wrestle Kingdom with Shinsuke Nakamura, is now in a tag team with Dad Bod, Chris Jericho, and they're tonight vying for the tag team championships against the.
New Day.
There you go.
First class.
Thought that
One
very
take-
well transitioned there.
One takes medal.
One take to Adam.
So, Jack, kick off with you. What's going to happen tonight with Y2AJ and their tag title showdown?
Purely because I've read the preview on WWE.com, New Day are going to retain, or something. They'll retain somehow.
And where does that leave AJ
I
Styles?
just explain, because the preview is worded, it's written on WWE.com, if you can find it, like through the new site, which is a whole other kettle of fish.
I know that term. Kettle of fish.
Kettle of fish,
Good
horses for courses, plucky.
You're very plucky, Jack.
There, I'd describe myself as plucky, there you go, like, yeah.
Surely you can't describe yourself as brave and small. Like,
I'm not that, I mean,
you said plucky stood for brave and small.
well, brave and like the underdog.
Why
You're,
are you still on the
you're
boss?
changing the terms every 2 minutes here. Right, okay, continue. You were talking about
So
being plucky.
the first sentence is something along the lines of, can the New Day hope to retain their titles tonight? Probably not if Y2AJ's current run of form is anything to go by, which is just set up for, like, they're not going to win now, are they, Y2AJ?
They shouldn't win.
No, they shouldn't win. No, you're right.
My perspective of Chris Jericho changed when on his podcast he revealed that he only comes back for angles that interest him. So to keep himself relevant and cool with all the hipsters on the internet, he's aligned himself with AJ Styles and got Vince's permission.
It's
He's
sad,
the-
isn't it? Because
I've got 3 words for you. Rooty, tooty, booty.
Thing is, the sad thing
Part
is,
of me died every time he said that.
you know,
Part of me died. I died when he did a cartwheel as a referee.
Oh.
That killed me. As someone who saw him debut on Raw with The Rock and used to love him with Ralphus, and like he did a thing. I was watching an old Nitro, and he did this great thing where he just turned heel, and Juventud Guerrera was having a match, and Juventud Guerrera won the match, and Jericho ran out and he attacked him, right? And as soon as Juventud got the upper hand, Jericho rolled out of the ring, went and got the mic, and he said, Juventud, I was just coming out to congratulate you, and you attacked me out of nowhere. That's funny stuff. Now he comes out and he's doing cartwheels and he's going, baby!
And wearing no shirt under a waistcoat thing with the scarf.
the thing is, the sad
I'm no
thing is,
Gokwan. I know I'm having to go a lot of wrestlers' attire here, but Ziggler and Jericho.
Why does Gok Wan get to criticize people's attire? I mean, it's not like he's. I don't know what the example is of somebody who should be doing that. But Gok Wan, do you like Gok Wan, Jack?
no.
No. For Americans, just Google Gok Wan.
WAN.
G-O-K.
He didn't notice, but the sad thing is, I think Jericho really thinks that he's helping AJ as well. He's like, oh, I'll take him under my wing. I'll get him over.
He's the only man in the world that wants to see this. No one else
no,
wants to see
you're
it.
right, you're right.
He's gone to Vince. Vince, please let me be with AJ. And Vince has gone, damn it, all right then. And that was it.
It's a great Vince voice.
Thank
That
you very
was-
much. I've
yeah.
been working for years on it.
I feel like the thing with Jericho and AJ is it started off. I remember the first night they had a match on Raw. Great, liked
Yeah.
seeing that. They had a match on SmackDown. That match was even better. They had one at Fastlane.
That was a good match.
It was okay, but it wasn't
Jericho
as good as the
nearly
first
killed him, but it was a good match. Like, oh.
And then it's just like
That should have been it.
it's just so.
We should now be
embarrassing.
enjoying a KO versus AJ Intercontinental feud.
But-
Because of the Royal Rumble.
Now,
Why?
do
Yeah.
we think though that we're gonna get Jericho versus AJ4 at WrestleMania?
I hope not.
No, they won't do that again, surely.
Surely the rubber match was enough. They respect each other. They're good buds now.
Oh,
Is Jericho ever going to turn heel? Because I feel like that. I'm hoping this is
Well,
what
he
he's going to
threatened
do.
to, didn't he? And then it just became nothing.
I thought this was going to be like, it was going to be another one of his meta heel turns. You remember when he came back and did the
Insane.
whole thing where...
the long
yeah,
words.
I thought he was going to do that again where he's being really uncool and stuff, the crowd is still cheering for him, but then it turns out his gimmick is now dad. Like, he's trying to be hip and funny. I thought that was going to be his heel gimmick. It actually turns out he's not that self-aware. He is just a dad.
Yeah, it's
It's
true.
quite a shame.
So that's Monday Night Raw. Any closing comments before we move on about Raw tonight for the lovely listeners/viewers of WhatCulture.com?
I think the Divas are worth a mention. Divas Championship, isn't it?
Well, not tonight, but yeah,
No, but like I think they should, or maybe they might be given quite a serious bit of like promo time or something if they really want to push like the women as of greater
Apparently,
importance.
there's going to be a second Divas match, isn't it, WrestleMania?
I heard that as well.
So they need to
Featuring-
build that one.
Well, that would be the Brie Lana thing.
Paige
I
was
hope so.
apparently involved. Oh, Ross's love of Lana is something else. Like,
Listen,
Can you
I
blame?
can't blame. No. To be fair,
I do hope. My one hope is that tonight Sasha Banks comes out and says, I just want to clarify to everyone that when I did the Sunset Flip Powerbomb, I actually got a concussion and just collapsed, and that was why I was pinned last week. Because
that was a bad
otherwise
spot.
it
That
like
wasn't it?
Whiplash ting.
So I guess it's time to move on to the quiz, the Jack Down versus Ross.
Jack Down
Rouse.
versus Ross. Yeah, how are we
You gotta-
spelling
you
Ross?
gotta-
Rouse.
The R-A-W-S-S.
And his R-A-W in capitals, and then
yeah.
small SS.
Small SS.
Jack Down versus Rouse.
Book it, Vince.
So
Do you know how buzzing I was when I came up with that? I was so
I can
excited.
tell. Okay, so here is how it goes, folks. We have 2 rounds. We have it's going to all be questions based on Monday Night Raw and the history of Raw. We're going to have a 90s round, and then we're going to have a 2000s round. The way it works, in the 90s round, all the questions are surrounding the 1990s from Monday Night Raw. 2000s covers 2000s in Monday Night Raw. You will both have 6 questions. So you'll
Oh
get
my
3. You'll get
God.
3 in the 90s, 3 in 2000s.
Gonna be exposed.
If we get to the end and we're going to get a tiebreaker, there is a tiebreaker question in that event. Ross, contender ready.
Oh.
Yeah.
Gladiator ready.
Oh, I'm the gladiator.
Yeah,
Not
wow, whoa, let's start that again.
So, Ross, are you ready?
Oh, I met Hunter.
Yes,
what's
I
that?
am.
You met Hunter.
Yeah, I met Hunter. He was opening a bike shop.
So, we're going to do a 90s round first. As I say, it'll be a question each. You're going to get 3 questions each. And who wants to go first?
Shotgun at me.
All right, I'll go first. Yeah.
Well, shotgun.
You sure you said shotgun, not me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go
So you've
first.
gotta
Yeah,
go
right.
first. Haha, mind games have started already.
So, Jack, you are going first in this game. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put... Well, I don't have a clock, so I'm going to give you roughly a minute to answer this.
Well, all 6 of them.
No. Per question.
One?
No. What?
Wow, that's a lot of time.
Okay, I'll give you 30 seconds.
Okay, right.
I love that you're trying to talk down your time that you need. Okay, so I'm going to give you 30 seconds to answer the question. If you
Excuse me.
don't answer it, or if you answer and get it wrong, you're done. You can't just keep answering it. So if you answer it wrong, I'm moving on.
Right.
But you have 30 seconds
Yeah,
to
yeah,
make
yeah.
the guess.
You're
Is
a
that
poet,
clear?
You don't know it.
Thanks, mate. Okay. So, it is time for Jack Down versus Ross.
Rouse.
Rouse.
This is the 90s round and we're kicking off with Jack. Okay, Jack, your time starts now. Who did The Undertaker face in the main event of the first Monday Night Raw? Feel
Oh,
free
this
to
is
talk
hard
through
already.
your-
Yeah.
Can I answer it if he doesn't know?
I'm gonna go. Ooh,
I know this one.
you know it.
Yeah.
All right, I'll go. Hogan. Hulk Hogan.
Hogan!
I don't know.
You can't be serious, Jeff.
Wait,
Oh, I just spat everywhere.
And you called him Jeff.
had Hogan?
Right, well, your time's up. It was Damien Demento.
What
Hoagie's
time-
horrible little ponytail.
Which year was this?
1993.
Oh, Hogan had long gone. No, he hadn't.
He hadn't come back yet.
Oh, what am I thinking? Oh, that's terrible.
The bar has been set
I'm
at rock bottom.
a little
Ross.
more confident now.
So, your first question. What New York City building housed Raw for the first 6 months of 1993?
The Manhattan Center.
1-0 to King Ross. Okay, Jack,
Oh.
question number 2.
Yeah.
I do feel bad because I don't think you're going to get this one, but we'll give it a try. Who attacked Gorilla Monsoon in January 1996 on Raw?
Brian Pillman.
It was Vader.
Why is Brian Pillman a ridiculous answer? Like, you went like that there. Had he not?
Because that was a big thing. Gorilla Monsoon attacked by Vader. Gorilla Monsoon had never been attacked
Had
before.
Pillman not come into
Not yet.
WWE? Oh,
He was still in WCW.
man. Okay.
Okay. Now it's your turn, Ross. Which two men fought in the finals of the European Championship tournament in March of 1997 to determine the new champion?
X-Pac?
To determine the first European champion.
The first European champion. Good lord, my mind's gone blank. We will go with Owen Hart.
So X-Pac and Owen Hart.
No, not X-Pac.
No, but you said X-Pac.
How many
so you
chances
can't.
did you
No,
get
no,
here?
you said the two.
Yeah,
X-Pac
good,
and
right,
Owen
yeah,
Hart.
good.
All right, calm down. X-Pac is wrong. Owen Hart is correct, but you don't get a half point. It was British Bulldog versus Owen
Man.
Hart in one of the best matches in Raw history. You
Should've
children.
known that.
Well,
I was 4 years old.
right.
You're never getting this one. Never.
This is fun.
Okay. Which television event used to mean that Raw was preempted every August?
Oh, I saw a reference to this on like Twitter or something. Oh, I'm not gonna get it. Is it a wildlife documentary of some sort? Okay, right. Okay, no, never mind.
So they preempted Raw to show a documentary on
Wait
wildlife.
a second. Can I have the question again? Sorry.
Your time's up.
Oh, right.
Okay, I'll give you the question one more time, and you have 3 seconds.
All right.
Okay.
Well,
Question
this
is,
isn't on.
come on, you're 1-0 up. It's fine. Which TV event used to preempt Raw every August? 3, 2.
Nah, pass. Sorry, no. I got it.
It was the Westminster Dog Show.
Yeah, wildlife. I knew it was animal
It's not a
related.
documentary,
I knew it was,
though.
I know.
It's
I
like
knew it was.
crafts.
Yeah, but you've got to appreciate that. I knew it was animal related, though.
A wildlife documentary.
Dogs aren't wildlife, like.
there's no time sensitive.
Wildlife, Jack. How ridiculous! What have animals got to do with wrestling? Oh, it was a dog show, mate.
So the Westminster Dog Show was the answer, Jack, which I don't believe you got because I think you thought it was a wildlife documentary. Okay, Ross, you can go 2-0 up here in the first round if you get this question right. You have 30 seconds to tell me which match was Jim Ross's first one on Monday Night Raw.
Oh, good lord. 93-ish? 96-ish? Oh, I haven't got a clue.
Jim Ross's first match on Raw was in 1999 when he tag teamed with Stone Cold Steve Austin
Oh,
against Triple H
Colin
and
Colin
China.
I thought he went down the desk.
I
What
did
was
as
Jim
well.
Ross's first match? I didn't say commentary.
He didn't sit in ring either.
That's horrible. That's mean.
You
That is mean.
evil, evil mistress.
You're still 1-0 up.
But my credibility has taken a smashing.
Listen, if you had a problem with the question, you could have just said, "You mean commentary?" Which I didn't mean.
I just took that for granted because Jim Ross is a commentator, not a wrestler.
He's also a wrestler. He beat Triple H in Madison Square Garden
He
on
did.
Raw.
He did do that, yeah.
So we're into the 2000s now.
Yes, come on.
Okay, so
Yeah.
we're 1-0 up for Ross. Here we go. Jack, who did Chris Jericho reveal on a June 2005 Raw as the newest member of the Raw roster? On a highlight reel.
John Cena.
Correct.
Come on.
1-1.
Man, the pressure.
Okay. I'm going to be very specific about my questions now.
Thank you.
Can you tell me who the Raw announced team were in July of 2008?
Michael Cole. I want to say someone wacky, like that man, Abraham Thingy,
Washington.
Washington.
So your answer is Michael Cole and Abraham Washington.
I don't know. I think it's a trick
The
question.
answer was Michael Cole and Jerry Lawler.
Trick question.
No, it wasn't. There was no tricks.
When did Abraham Washington come in? It was like 2011 or something.
2009, then he made that.
Oh, was it?
really
Well, yeah, out then, eh?
All right, okay.
Man.
With 2 questions left each, okay?
I'm feeling good.
It's all to play for. Jack, who did Vince McMahon fire in the opening segment of the November 19th, 2001 edition of Monday Night Raw?
Paul Heyman.
Correct.
Man.
He's brought it back. He's brought it back.
2-1
For
to
the
Jack
boys.
and Akinori. Okay, and it's time for...
Jack and Nakanori,
Just trying it out.
the king of strong style.
That's you. When I think of you, Jack, I think of strong style.
yeah.
And plucky, obviously. Ross, again, if I am misleading you with any of these questions, feel free to
Thank you.
ask me
It is
further
your duty as the
clarification.
quiz
is.
master. Yeah.
Okay, your question is, there's only ever been one TLC match for the Tag Team Championships in Raw's history. Name one of the teams involved.
Christian and Jericho.
Correct.
Oh.
2-2. Luckily, I made a
Desmond!
tiebreaker question. Okay.
Desmond Tutu.
Oh, good God. Okay. Jack.
Mm.
And I want you to really think about this one.
Okay.
Well, it's an easy question.
Who was the first guest host of Raw in June of 2009?
Oh,
That's a doozy.
that's hard, that one. Who was guest host of Raw in June? First guest host of Raw.
I'm even going to give you 45 seconds for this one because it's hard.
I'm going to go... Oh, man. Donald Trump.
That is incorrect.
Oh, right,
the
okay.
answer was Batista,
Oh,
who was an
God.
injured wrestler at the time, and Vince McMahon brought in the concept to bring in either legends, Hall of Famers, or crappy celebrities. He didn't say crappy celebrities, I've added that piece in. Okay,
Crappy celebrities, damn it.
King Ross,
You can win with this, can't you?
you can win and take home your fake crown if you answer this
Oh,
question.
is this for the crown?
Fake crown.
Wait, is this for the crown?
No, but he has it, so
Oh.
he's going to take it home if he... There's a tiebreaker question here if you cannot get this correct.
Yep.
Okay? What was the last match on Monday Night Raw in 2013?
I know what it is for 2014.
That's not the question.
Can you just clarify that? Yeah. Oh God, I'll go with Punk versus Cena.
Punk versus Cena, you think was the last match of 2013 on Raw? They gave away that match as the last match on Raw.
In a tag team match, and Punk teamed with.
Wait,
No, he's got it wrong.
Oh, right, sorry. Come on,
Jack,
there we
trust
go.
in me
Yeah,
here.
Okay.
The answer was Daniel Bryan against Bray Wyatt.
And they gave that away for free.
Well, it was leading into the Royal Rumble, wasn't it? Probably.
Do you want to take over?
No, sorry, man.
So, we have reached the tiebreaker question, not because they're really good, because they're equally as crap.
They were hard questions, man. The dog show, are you serious?
All the comments below this going, oh, I would have got 5 out of 5. Come and fight me.
Shane McMahon will come out tonight and say, sorry guys, the wildlife documentary needs to be shown, so there's no hour 3.
Whatever it was.
Okay, this is a tiebreaker question, and in order, it's both of you can answer. So what I'm going to do is have you just say your own name to be able to answer. And the first person to say their own name gets to make a choice. If they're incorrect, it will go to the opposite person.
Right, just before, because I know one of us might then go, I'll be like, Jack, and then take a while to think about it. So we can't do that. We can't do
Once
that.
you say your name, I need an answer.
Straight away, yeah.
So just say Jack or Ross. Don't say King Ross. Don't say Jack the Jobber.
But my name is King Ross.
I don't have enough time to really go into that.
I'll be saying King Ross.
King Ross.
Compose yourself, Jack, but it's all to play for here.
Yeah,
This is
sorry.
the first Jack Down versus Ross.
Oh, we're going to keep like an overall... Oh, right, okay, right.
Oh, this isn't leading one of those bloody forfeits, is it?
No.
No, we're adults. We don't do that.
Oh, that's all right.
Ah.
So, the tiebreaker question is, tell me who defeated The Miz to win the US title on the May 17th, 2010 edition of Monday Night Raw that was held in Toronto.
Jack, Kofi Kingston.
You are incorrect.
Okay.
Ross, you can take up to 30 seconds and give me an answer on this question.
United States champion from 2010. I'll go D. Bry. A-Rye. D. Bry.
This is grim. This is really...
Does it go back to me now?
I thought... Why not? Go for it.
Okay.
We'll just go back and forth.
Can I not look at Wikipedia?
No.
We should have kayfabe
This was in
you know.
2010 when both these guys
2010.
were very much
2010.
watching wrestling.
I was 18 and drunk.
Who beat The Miz?
So I was older and drunk.
Oh, come on. John Cena.
Nope.
Yeah.
No, not then.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, because that's a ridiculous answer.
Daniel.
What's so funny about D. Bry?
He first came in.
He was still on the game show in NXT.
No. That is a bit of a
classic.
ricket.
Ricky.
United States champion from 2010. Let's try and picture one.
Oh. Kenny, I'm on both of our behalves. I'm so
I'm
sorry.
gonna have to really dumb down the questions next week.
Termination papers already, like, aren't they?
Got 5 seconds left. Just give me an answer.
Del Rio.
Okay, so I'm gonna read.
No,
I'm
I've
gonna
got
read.
another guess.
No.
I've got one now. I've got one now.
Who?
Ready? John Morrison.
No.
Okay, right.
Miz.
He was
Beat
the
himself.
Miz.
Oh, he was the question, wasn't he? Jesus.
Okay, so I just
Can we-
want to say. I want to say the question one more time because I originally was going to leave part of it out to make it harder. Didn't need to. The question was, who defeated The Miz to win the US title on the May 17th, 2010 Raw held in Toronto?
Oh,
Edge.
The winner was Bret the Hitman Hart when he beat The Miz on Raw.
I said Jack. I was going to give my
No,
answer. I
you
wasn't
were-
saying
you
Jack
weren't gonna
Swagger.
You were
Oh, hang on,
finished
let's just admit we weren't going to get it right.
He said Canada.
Yeah, but you weren't going to get Bret the Hitman Hart.
Who wins? What do we do?
Now I have to do another question
We'll
now.
just,
right.
prolonging the agony here.
So, the question is going to be about 2015. Okay?
Yeah.
And the question is... Sting had one match on Raw in 2015.
King
Tell
Ross.
me the match.
Big Show.
Correct.
Thank God that's over.
Ross
Credibility.
has won 3-2, but I think we can all agree that neither of these men are winners.
That's sickening, that.
Technically
That's
I am,
Sickening.
but it's the most hollow victory of my life.
That's sickening.
So just to recap some of the answers here. The Raw... Raws in August in the old days were preempted by the wildlife documentary.
Listen, the dog show was actually quite a good guess. Can I just get this straight now? Like, the dog show was a good guess.
Jim Ross's
the wildlife documentary was a good guess.
Jim Ross's first match was in 1993, where he fought nobody. The July 2008 Raw announce team was Michael Cole and Abraham Washington.
Trick questions. My life is surrounded by trick questions.
And The Miz beat Kofi Kingston, Alberto Del Rio, John Cena, and Daniel Bryan.
And himself.
And
himself.
And himself.
They all beat The Miz in a fatal 12-way. Any closing comments from that quiz? You won, so I guess tell the legions of people how you feel after that great victory.
Thanks for ending my career.
That's what I'm here for. Jack?
I'll be back next week stronger.
It's not going to be hard.
Back next week. Hopefully going to tie it up, you know.
Great. So if the people who are listening to this for some reason now have a desire to follow you on social media to dumb themselves down a little bit, where can they find you, Ross? King Ross?
At Ross on Wrestling.
Want to spell that just so you know?
ROSS.
Well, not that part.
ON.
Right.
RASSLIN.
The L, you weren't quite sure of that L there.
My confidence has been severely knocked here.
Go ahead, Jack.
FABUL. No. It's you looked so startled there. It's at Jack_the Jobber. There you
Two
are.
B's.
Yes, 2 B's in Jobber, not Jobber. Jack the Jobber. At Jack_the Jobber.
So from King Ross, who will continue to royal himself over Jerry Lawler, from Jack, who is plucky, and from me, who is hated by everyone, I'm Kenny McIntosh. Thanks for listening, thanks for watching, and we'll be back next week with more Monday Night RAWss.